Welcome back to the Seas of Tidebound. Per usual, I've got an absolute ton of exciting additions to show you. From the cannons now being nearly fully functional, a new boss added to the game, revamps of islands along with added islands. Stay tuned until the end as there's a bunch, but without further ado, let's dive right into today's devlog. Let's start with an important change, the cannons. Last episode they were functional but didn't damage the ship, so I made it so it can do just that. Along with this, ships now have health systems, along with patchable holes that you can fix. I'll also have to be adding a bucket so that you can remove the water, and I'd also like to add visual tools for the cannons and planks so that you can actually hold them, but I'll save that for another episode. Next, a quality of life addition, I added in settings for the player, with a few small options for now like toggling key hints, showing the coin label, which is also a new addition, a low graphic setting, and more. The little on-off slider is temporary, as I'll be drawing my own custom one eventually. Speaking of the coin label, that's added as well. I made sure that it had the little increasing effect so that it's a bit more lively. And rolling off some more small UI additions, each guild now has their own proper guild icon. Entering islands will give you a little opening sequence, which will also help you learn the name. And I added text guides for each outpost so that you know exactly where the points of interest are. Some suggestions and people from the Discord suggested that I add multiple weapons as a sort of class/loadout system, so I obliged. My first step towards it being adding a new weapon, the boarding axe. It doesn't have any special ability yet, like the dash the cutlass has, but it is slightly faster, with a 1 to 2 damage decrease compared to the cutlass. Next I added it so you can change your loadout at weapon stores and in the future your ship, by clicking on this little box on the wall. I didn't want to get too ahead when it came to adding weapons without adding stores where you can change the skin of the weapon. I've also added a royalty/golden line for each of them so that you can see it in action, each of the weapons having their own royal skin. Now that I gave the weapons a little love, let's move over to the quest system and give the skeleton waves a big addition, a boss that spawns at the final wave. First I made it so that the captain will stand idle while the other skeletons fight for him, stomping you away if you get close. Next, when all of his men are defeated, he'll switch to the normal skeleton functionality, but with a lot more health, and the ability to throw bombs, which I later added for him to do while idling as well, to make it even more challenging. Finally, once you defeat him, he'll drop a skull, which acts just like a chest, allowing you to sell it to any guild NPC. You might have seen a few times in the video, but the islands were changed a ton compared to the last video. Trees, bushes, custom buildings, and more were added, making the entire world look much more complete. All thanks to my builder Brandito. Big shout out to him. To go along with this addition, I added around 4 new foods, all having their own unique plant where you can pick the food. And I even added barrels so that you can loot these as well. Nassau went from being completely empty to this, and we've even got brand new islands added that you'll be able to plunder for loot and fight skeletons on as well. have an exciting announcement. Testing access is now out. It's currently heavily discounted for the first people that buy it, and if you're in my Discord, just make a ticket so that you can get the playtesting role. You could try out the game and report any bugs so that when it's released, it should be a smooth experience. And don't worry, the full release will be free, I promise. Lastly, just remember to keep in mind the game is in very early stages. This isn't technically a release, it's closed testing. Alright, back to the video. Yet another important change I made was the ability to buy and spawn your ships, so testers don't have to worry about a ship being there for them, as I made the current ship completely free for now. Brandito also came in clutch with a beautiful building on the docks to go along with it. One of the last big additions for this episode is a designated map UI so that you can see the entire world. The UI itself is a bit ugly in my opinion, I definitely want to redo it, but it works for now. You can zoom in, out, and move around the map to get the perfect view you're looking for. Well, I lied, this is actually the last big addition. Firstly, I added a new pickaxe, which you can use to dig up ores that will be spread around the map. These will be in different tiers, which will each have their own health systems, along with the fact that you'll need to have your pickaxe upgraded to mine better ores. Along with this addition, to have something to do with the ores that you collect, I've added a forging system. This will allow you to upgrade each of your weapons and pickaxe, giving them more damage. I can also add more in here in the future, like armor upgrades. There's also been a bunch of background changes, like quests for level 3 players, a second chest to dig up, bug fixes, and more. I'll put a list of them on the screen. I'm extremely proud of the game so far, and the mountains of work me and my builder have been getting done are slowly paying off. The game looks official in my opinion. But as always, I'm just getting started. There's still a ton more I want to add to the game to make it even more fun. But anyway, that's everything for episode 6. If you want to set sail with me on this pirate adventure, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep an eye out for episode 7. And if you really liked my content, consider giving it a hype. It's a newer feature YouTube is doing that allows the channel to be shown to even more people. Anyway, that's all for me. Peace out and have a good one.